one thing that I saw was I've seen examples. Well, I've seen an example of Zoomers getting educated in real time on this shit, right? Like young people, like teenagers, because they don't necessarily. Thanks for the host, Racho. Appreciate it. They aren't necessarily the most. Like they're young, right? So they're not gonna know all the details of this shit. Although I do feel like kids these days are a lot smarter than when we were younger. Like by the time like at like, you know, high school, 13, 14, 15, right? Like they know a lot more. They you know, they grew up on the internet. They grew up on this form of the internet, right? Which is more
advanced.
More advanced, more political even. Like it's not cat videos and all that shit. And like I saw this one TikTok of this girl who was crying. She was bawling on her camera saying like, yo, like my parents just told me that that George Floyd deserved to die, and like, you know, that these, you know, he's just being racist. Like, you know, like I'm tired of living in fucking buttfuck nowhere with all these racist people, you know. And it's like, you know, like it's good that you at least understand that that's what's going on, right? Like a lot of people grow up in these situations and they don't. It's like calling a water, like, you know, the whole thing about the fish calling the water wet or whatever the fuck, and they're like, what's water, you know, because they don't know, they're in it so long. So at least the internet is showing, is giving people the ability to go outside of their bubble where they live, right? We have internet bubbles, and that's a problem, of course, but you know, it gives opportunity for people to see outside of them their
own experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
Especially if you have an open mind, like the greatest thing about the internet is that you can actually get a perspective from like different types of people. Like it doesn't take you to get a platform in order to get to that point, or having a large platform to get to that point. Because for instance, like, I mean, as a black man, like there are probably some things that I don't really understand about like white people or even black women that like, again, like would not come up if I didn't use the internet, you know? It's just like the internet offers a way, because we're so connected, that we can see different perspectives that we never had before. And whether we take that within our own life experience and the world view is really up to us, which is why, like, okay, then explain racism then, you know? Like, that's kind of the reason why. It's because, again, like, a lot of things in the system and a lot of the way we're socially brought up basically amplifies as well as enables a lot of racism to occur.
Yes.
Especially with like echo chambers on the internet as well. So at the same time, like, I'm glad that at least it's kind of gotten to this point, because at the same time it feels like, yo, this last week feels like 2 years.
Facts on some real shit, yo.
The amount of shit that's gone down,
it's so crazy.
Honestly, it's pretty wild.
Okay, for instance, like Blue Lives Matter or anything. Why aren't we seeing any blue squares? Or All Lives Matter. Why aren't we seeing any white squares?
Okay, no, I'm so sorry.
That's another story.
No, listen, Javon. That is the best segue ever, because here's the thing. People use that same concept to fuck with those hashtags, and it's the most beautiful shit I ever seen in my life, bro.
That's what they're talking about. That's what we were talking about.
Oh, really? Yo,
yeah, a little bit.
Fam.
K-pop Twitter?
Fam, White Lives Matter and Whiteout Wednesday was trending under K-pop, bro. The K-pop stance came through, and they just said, yo, listen, fuck you guys. Watch some fucking girls dancing, bro. It's that simple. Blue Lives Matter, they started posting Grover and fucking Blue from House for Imaginary Friends, that show. They started posting fucking the Blue Man Group. Like, they just started trolling these fucking guys, yo, and it's so good, man. It's so fucking good. I'm like,
I rate it.
I don't know. Anonymous. They didn't like they don't really take credit for necessarily these kind of things, but they as far as I know, they were the first ones to say, like, yo, K-pop stance, go and block these hashtags, okay? And then K-pop Twitter was like, bet, and they just came through. It's the most beautiful shit I ever seen in my life, yo. And I did not know that K-pop fans were they're so good at practice. I did not know, but
Yeah,
Now I know.
It's the Rainbow Coalition. Like, that's the thing. The Rainbow Coalition. It needs to come.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's the
what
best
it
way to
does,
put it.
That's when we start. That's when we start seeing justice. That's when we start seeing
Yep.
action against these inequalities.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
Because at the same time, like, it's hard to say, like, yo, we deserve justice, but fuck white people, you can't be a part of the solution at all.
No.
Like, I feel like that's really, like, counterproductive.
It's counterproductive.
Yeah.
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 Listen.
Especially if,
Like,
especially
you were
if your
down for the
intentions, if your intentions are true.
Yes.
If your intentions are true and you're willing to listen and also
Right.
learn about the ways you can support black people without
Right.
also, like, trying to say, oh, I just feel guilty, so that's why the only reason why I feel bad, instead of just, like, appealing to your empathy and appealing to the fact that, like, these are still human beings too, not even just the fact that they're black, just out of your own humanity. You don't want to see something bad happen to another human being. I hope that's, like,
Right.
like, I hope you can see that.
Yo, they posted Blue from Pokemon. I'm
Kpop.
dead, yo. Oh my god, that's so jokes.